Welcome to Behind the Sirens, the VFIS of North Carolina series, where we dive into leadership, risk management, and key issues shaping fire and emergency services. Whether you're new or a seasoned pro, we've got insights to help you and your crew lead, protect, and serve with confidence.
Welcome to All Clear. I'm Travis, and boy, was that a snazzy intro we just had. I've got Matt Nolan with me today. How you doing, Matt?
Fantastic, Travis. Happy to be on with you today, and you're doing a fantastic job, kind of getting us off the ground here.
Yeah, trying to make y'all move into at least the 20th century to get you up to podcasting. If people look, well, they obviously saw the intro, and Behind the Sirens. Boy, this is something that I'm very excited about. It's a project I know that you and your team have been very diligent at working up. But first of all, let me tell them who you are. You know, they probably see behind you VFIS of North Carolina. And if any of our listeners have been to a fire conference in North Carolina in probably the last 20 years, they've probably seen you and Jackie, Ireland, Jeff Cash, and all kinds of names and faces that they would know. But why don't you tell us a little bit about VFIS and what you guys do, and maybe kind of take some of the mystery out of it.
Absolutely. If you've been in the fire service or emergency services in general in the last 40 years, you know VFIS of North Carolina in our state. Jeff Cash and I are the young guns. Jeff will appreciate me saying that. We're the young guns on the team here. But Jackie Ireland and Cloy Sanders have done a phenomenal job of supporting emergency services in the state. We're the leading insurer of the state, but we're also very passionate about Behind the Sirens, what goes on behind the sirens, consultation, risk management services, the whole gamut. Our passion is to make sure that the fire service and emergency service organizations of our state have the resources they need. We really strive for continuous improvement, not only from a training standpoint, but leadership, which kind of springboards into, why Behind the Sirens. This is kind of the next step for us in helping get information out there, put speakers in front of the fire service, emergency service organizations, bring expertise into the state. This is just another way for us to provide resources to the people we love, care for.
Very good. So, do you think that hearing voices outside of your own organization, your own fire department, do you think that is important to really get an understanding for what's going on in the world now?
I think it's crucial. There's so much going on, not even just the differences from department to department in a single county, let alone regionally, let alone from our state. But there's a lot of smart people in emergency services across this country. So it is crucial. It's one of those things that we're pretty staunch on, is making sure that we're listening. There's a lot of people who have a lot of great things to add. And if any organization, whether it's emergency services or risk management, if we're not willing to say we don't know everything, we'd like some input on here. What can we do to improve? Where can we go to improve? And who do we need to listen to? We've got a problem, right? So it's all about getting better. What's the next step? What's the next step in our development, whether it be individually as a leader, an administrator, as a young firefighter, or as a line officer. But that's important. Hear those outside voices. So we're excited to bring some of those resources in.
Well, very good. And I know that you have shared a few of the upcoming episodes and plans that you guys are laying down. Who are some of these outside voices that you have kind of lined up to be coming on?
Well, to start with, it's going to be some inside voices, some internal voices. The first episode that we're working on right now, I think, is crucial from a timing standpoint. We're one of our trusted, loving partners in North Carolina State Fire Association. We're going to get together and put together a podcast or video about the pending changes to the North Carolina Firefighter Cancer Program and how it impacts retirees moving forward with some of the legislative changes that were put through last fall that expands some coverage for a much-needed class of firefighter, those who have served for a long period of time in our state that were kind of carved out with the initial legislation. We corrected that, or our legislators corrected that. Our NCSFA has been great advocates for the fire service and getting some of this stuff pushed through. So we're excited to sit down and talk about roster management and some of the details that come with the legislative pen and how it will impact our firefighter retirees in the cancer program. Some of the outside voices, one of the things we're working on that we're going to record later this fall, potentially at the SAFER conference. So stay tuned for that. We're pitching an idea, just working on getting some younger leaders, some up-and-coming leaders in the fire service, primarily from our state, but also surrounding areas, if we can find some good input. I think that's something that a lot of young leaders in the fire service in North Carolina need, to know they're not alone, to know that there are voices out there and their support systems out there for them to grow their leadership skills, develop those skill sets that oftentimes they're not developed early on, that you don't develop just by getting certifications and getting the curriculum under your belt. Sometimes you need that experience. And so hearing from people who are actively engaged, actively developing, actively growing, maybe a few steps ahead of you, we thought that would be a good one. We've got an opportunity to bring in one of our teammates from VFIS out of York, Pennsylvania. We're talking about maybe a risk management style podcast where it's a Q&A that'll allow the fire service, again, potentially recording at SAFRA. But we're working on getting the chief actuary, chief underwriter to come down and talk about what risk management looks like on the other side of the sirens. And then we're going to close out with a fourth podcast toward the end of the year. Hopefully some of the Q&A, some of the input that we'll have from the listeners will help guide that one as well. We've got several ideas, but long term, we get through 2025. Long term would be to have some consistent content put out where we're bringing people from out of state. We're bringing people to support a lot of what you do, Trav. The individuals that you're bringing in, the expertise. We really like the All Clear podcast. So it's gonna somewhat mirror that, and supplement it more from a leadership development and risk management standpoint. And then programs within the state, hot topics, things that fire chiefs need to know that we can again help our partners, help those in the fire service that are trying to get some information out, be a platform for them as well.
Very good. Now, one of the things that we do have listeners that are outside of the state of North Carolina. There are people from all over Colorado, California. We even got them from out of the country. So just because it says North Carolina doesn't mean there's not something that you can take away from this. But it will be very North Carolina centric, and that is our home. So don't be surprised if you hear a little bit of specific topics. But why is an insurance company interested in teaching firefighters this information? Because it seems like y'all, have all these resources that you're willing to share free of charge. Why are you guys willing to do that?
Well, it goes back to our mission. Mission first, people always. We want to make sure that firefighters and our EMS partners have what they need. So, being an insurance provider, that's kind of where things started. But we're very blessed to be able to operate the way we do because we're a program. We're specifically designed for volunteer fire service, for ESOs, for emergency service organizations. And it gives us a unique perspective. When you look at insurance as a whole as an industry, so many things or so many carriers are so broad. We're very specific. We know the business, we know the industry, and unfortunately, when you walk into a fire department, a singular fire department, oftentimes we have blinders on. We only see the things that affect us. We get to see it all, not only from a state perspective, we get to see across the state, but we have the leverage of an entire country's worth of program specifics. So that's one of the things, again, that I think is a tremendous blessing for me coming into industry, somewhat as a second career, is to be able to apply a business philosophy where it truly is our insureds, our family members first, and the business takes care of itself. So it's our way of giving back. It's our way of paying forward and our way of making sure that the future is sustainable, because there's a lot of things that impact emergency services right now that are outside of the everyday mission of a firefighter or a paramedic. We're coming into an age where there's a lot of leadership development that needs to take place, especially in volunteerism, developing processes and procedures that the volunteer fire service hasn't had to have in the past, that a lot of our larger career-oriented departments have gone through. So being able to compile all of that and have that perspective, that broader perspective, I think is pretty valuable.
Yeah, no doubt. And like you said, when you're able to give information that will benefit firefighters long term and emergency responders, it truly is important and fulfilling. And I'm going to tell my VFIS experience. We run the North Carolina Firefighter Cancer Alliance. That's our nonprofit that backs our podcast. And when North Carolina came out with the cancer initiatives, and we had the privilege of working with you guys and putting together some best practices, some training information. But anytime I would get a phone call, it's like, hey, my dad was a firefighter. He's been diagnosed. What do we do? First thing, I've even been at conferences and walk people over to you and Jackie to talk about, these are the guys that you need to talk to. They'll get the ball started. And y'all immediately started getting things moving to help them get qualified and find out where they needed to be. So a lot of heart goes into what you guys are doing as well. So I am looking forward to working with you guys on this ongoing project. But I guess just to kind of put you on the spot, what would you say are the top 3 hot topics that we are facing in the fire service right now?
I think leadership transition. A lot of the fire service is very legacy driven. There are guys that have given their lives, guys and gals that have given their lives, and it's a season of transition from a long standing tradition of leadership to now this younger generation is coming in. So I think that's something that this younger generation has a lot of advantages when it comes to technology. Technology is a hot topic, not only from the standpoint of computer systems and some of the cool things that are going on there, but also, I mean, some of the apparatus that we're seeing turned out, some of the things that are really making us safer. That's something that we're really excited about. And then another hot topic are health-related impacts in the fire service.
For sure.
You and I are very familiar as far as oncology in the fire service, cancer in the fire service. Mental health is going to be, it is already a big topic, but it's going to be something that I think we need to continue to focus on, continue to put resources into. So I think those are the big 3. I think the leadership transition, making sure that we're doing a good job of mentoring and developing young leaders, developing technologies and systems and processes that keep us safe, and then our help, firefighter help, EMS help. There's a lot of things there's a lot of opportunity in those areas.
Well, very good. So those are some of the things that we have to look forward to. And, one of the things that I encourage our listeners to do, and even if they're going back and listening to this, and this is future Travis talking to past Travis and talking to the past audience, if you think of something that you want to learn about, reach out to either me or Matt. His info will be in our show notes, and it'll be on our website, allclearpodcast.com, where you can go in and post questions, things that are on your mind, things that you'd like to know. If there's a point of view that you think that we're representing, let us know. We'd love to talk to you. And if you go ahead.
That's so important, Travis. Is a lot of the topical curriculums that I put together are derived exactly from that process. It's questions that I get in the field. It's questions I get going in and out of departments, speaking with rank and file. It's questions I get going in and out of departments, speaking with organizations, and we put those blinders on. We think we're the only ones dealing with these problems. But that is so important. It's rewarding being able to do it. It's a privilege and an honor to be able to serve that way. But we do want to produce content that is important to you guys.
It'll be great. It'll be fun.
We can talk about insurance all day long, but
oh no, please don't. I used to be in that industry a long time ago. There's a reason I'm not in it anymore. I'm kidding. Yeah, I have lots of insurance jokes, but it is cool to get to work with you guys at VFIS. And like I said, Matt, you've been around a long time. So's Jackie and Jeff and your whole team over there. So if folks want to learn how to get a hold of you, if they've got a question, how to file a cancer claim, anything like that. How do they get hold of you guys?
Absolutely, absolutely. Our main office is in Raleigh, but the easiest way to get to us is electronically. So our website, VFISNC.com, not only does it have a full system of links that take you to exactly where you need to go on the website, whether you're looking for benefits through NCSFA or the North Carolina Firefighter Cancer Program. All of that there is how it's all housed right there, including a lot of our training resources as well. If you need to hook up with Jeff Cash, our training coordinator, those links and forms are directly available on our website. And once you hit submit on any of those forms, they come directly to us. So you're going to talk to either Jeff, Jackie, or I when you hit submit. So we'll reach out.
All right. Well, awesome. Well, we're looking forward to working with you. And like I said, Behind the Sirens is something you're going to see more of. And if you're at Safer or Midwinter Chiefs or any of those conferences, stop by, see us, see them. We'll all be around, and we look forward to working with you guys.
Absolutely. You guys at these conferences, please stop by, see us. And just a quick plug for you. You said it's a pleasure working for us. It's an honor to work with you guys. So not only on the All Clear podcast, but we love what you guys are doing in North Carolina Firefighter Cancer Alliance. This is big stuff, and we're glad to be able to support you guys. So thank you.
And we greatly appreciate you guys being our title sponsor for this season. So a lot of cool stuff to come, but thank you. Tell Jackie thank you and the whole crew over there. But as we always say here on our podcast, light your fire within.